concept of the devil wanting to keep Christians poor is rooted in biblical principles and spiritual warfare. According to the Bible, Satan's primary goal is to thwart God's plan and undermine the faith of believers. One of the most effective ways he achieves this is by manipulating their financial circumstances, rendering them ineffective in their ministry and witness. The Bible clearly states that the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but Jesus came to give life in abundance, John 10:10. This abundance is not limited to spiritual blessings but also encompasses physical and material provisions. However, the devil seeks to disrupt this flow of blessings, keeping Christians in a state of poverty and lack. By doing so, he aims to distract them from their spiritual pursuits, making them more focused on their daily struggles than on their relationship with God. Moreover, poverty can be a significant hindrance to the spread of the gospel. When Christians are struggling to make ends meet, they may feel unable to contribute to their local church, support missionaries, or engage in other forms of ministry. This can severely limit the reach and impact of the church, allowing the devil to claim victory in his efforts to undermine the advancement of the kingdom of God. Additionally, the devil often uses poverty as a tool to sow seeds of doubt and unbelief in the hearts of Christians. When they are experiencing financial difficulties, they may begin to question God's love and provision for them. This can lead to a weakening of their faith, causing them to become more susceptible to the devil's lies and deception. The devil may whisper to them that God is not interested in their well-being or that he is unable to provide for their needs. By perpetuating these lies, the devil can keep Christians in a state of spiritual bondage, preventing them from experiencing the fullness of God's blessing. The Bible also teaches that Christians are called to be generous and to give freely, just as God has given to them. However, when they are struggling financially, they may feel unable to give, thus depriving them of the joy and blessing that comes from giving. The devil delights in this, knowing that when Christians are not giving, they are not experiencing the fullness of God's love and provision. It is essential for Christians to understand that the devil's tactics are not limited to individual believers but also extend to the church as a whole. By keeping the church in a state of poverty, the devil can prevent it from fulfilling its mandate to care for the poor, the widows, and the orphans. This can lead to a lack of credibility and integrity, causing the church to lose its voice and influence in the community. To overcome the devil's schemes, Christians must recognize that their financial struggles are not just a natural part of life but also a spiritual battle. They must learn to trust in God's provision, giving thanks in all circumstances, and trusting that He will supply all their needs according to His riches and glory. Philippians 4:19. By standing on God's promises and trusting in His faithfulness, Christians can break free from the devil's stronghold of poverty and experience the abundant life that Jesus came to give. In conclusion, the devil's desire to keep Christians poor is a strategic attempt to undermine their faith, limit their ministry, and prevent the spread of the gospel. By understanding the devil's tactics and trusting in God's provision, Christians can overcome the spirit of poverty and experience the abundant life that God has promised. As they learn to trust in God's faithfulness and give generously, they will be able to fulfill their mandate to care for the poor, the widows, and the orphans, thus advancing the kingdom of God and thwarting the devil's plans.